is a public hearing to consider an amendment to the joint municipal zoning ordinance to eliminate the PRD use. We can discuss this. I can advise the board regarding what the ordinance generally does. At that point, it would be appropriate for board discussion, open it up to public comment, and following public comment, the board would then vote to adopt the ordinance. This is an ordinance that has been long in the planning stages and review stages, and the effect of it is it's a multi-page ordinance, but goes on for 6+ pages. But what that does is it goes through the joint municipal zoning ordinance and eliminates everywhere in the document that a planned residential development, or PRD, is mentioned. Previously, the PRD was provided for in the R1 and R2 districts, which are predominantly located in Newtown Township. And this was a tool that is permitted, as you know, you're hearing the PRD tentative plan application right now. This was a tool designed to allow an applicant, a developer, to come in, provide for a mix of housing units, and sort of establish their own zoning criteria for that development, which, once a tentative plan is approved, would become the zoning provisions and development provisions for that particular development, and the subdivision ordinance and the zoning ordinance would no longer apply. This was a very effective tool back when the township was developing rapidly, and Newtown was really the center of residential development in the jointure, Upper Makefield being the watershed and having large lot development, and Wrightstown being more industrial and quarry oriented, so that the PRD served its purpose. However, I believe there are about 22 PRDs in Newtown already, and as you can see by the current application that's before you, it allows a developer to submit really an incomplete plan. It is not fully engineered. It doesn't allow for the full review by all of the appropriate township officials, consultants, and planning commission, including the county planning commission, and it doesn't go through the normal review process by the Board of Supervisors. So it seemed to the jointure municipalities, and I believe that the amendment was instigated by the Bucks County Planning Commission, to remove that option from the zoning ordinance, and that's what this ordinance does. So, any questions on that?
Yeah, Mr. Sander, this is basically going forward. For instance, we had a PRD variance tonight.
Correct.
If we were to approve this tonight, and someone came from Newtown, Grant, Tyler, Walk, any of those, they would still abide by the PRD variances because they're basically grandfathered in. They're not included. This would only be if there's a new PRD being proposed. We pass this, it basically cannot be proposed if that's the case.
Correct. Okay. That's exactly a correct statement, Mr. Chair. Again, 22 PRDs. Anybody who wants to change the dimensional requirements that's stated on the final plans of those PRDs would have to come in for your approval like we did tonight. However, if this ordinance is enacted by the township tonight and by Upper Makefield and Wrightstown subsequently, no additional beyond the current Arcadia application, no additional PRD applications for tentative plan approval would be permitted.
Okay. So I'll ask for a motion of an order.
Let's do it.
Okay. I was just going to read it, but that's okay. I was going to read the whole ordinance, but I guess we'll get the gist of it. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions from the board?
I
make it perfectly clear that the Bucks County Planning Commission was recommending, if I read their document correctly, they were recommending that we adopt this.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Any questions from the public? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 5-0. Now,